What's up, y'all? Let's go ahead and get right into this. Um, this experiment is not going to work with Luca and LeBron. Okay. Um, the Lakers knew that it was not going to work. The fans, at least the fans that aren't delusional, they know that it wasn't going to work. The NBA knew that this would not work. Real, true, hardcore Lakers fans, despite any type of optimism, knew that this was not going to work. And even the Dallas Mavericks, they knew that this wasn't going to work. Listen, the media can try to dummy this down all they want to. Okay. You have, talking heads such as Shannon Sharp try to prop it up as much as they can to sit up here and say that the Lakers are going to beat OKC and go on to the finals. You can sit up here and say that it's a lack of size. You could throw any type of excuse that you want to. You could say that it's Luca's still trying to get his legs up under him. You could say, oh well, they both need to get adjusted with playing with one another. All this other stuff. This is not work. I don't want to hear any of this stuff talking about. Oh yeah, well, straight. Look what happened with Luca and Kyrie. Those are two different types of players. When we talk about Kyrie and when we talk about LeBron, okay, that's two different. Those are two different types of players, okay. Because I don't think people realize that when Kyrie had actually when he came to Dallas, Luca actually gave the keys to Kyrie in terms of taking the back seat. He had praised Kyrie, in terms of him being the more accomplished player and everything, and him having the green light and everything. In this situation right here, that's not going to said for Luca to just be himself and all this other stuff. I don't want to hear any of that. Listen, we knew that this was not going to happen. This wasn't going to take place in terms of them being able to gel and all of that other stuff. It wasn't going to happen. And I know a lot of you really don't want to hear this, but in order for this to work, okay, please hit that like when you come in here, please. In order for this to work, this experiment to work, it's a couple of things. First and foremost, okay, outside of Luca and LeBron, they got to get some size that is dependable up front. Jackson Hayes is not dependable, and he's not serviceable. Okay, they have to get size up front. Another thing is what they're not looking at is okay. He's not going to buy into what JJ Redick is selling. That's unless of course Luca has total complete control of what he's doing. Um, and this is going to be Luca's team eventually. Once LeBron leaves and all of his minions leave, this eventually is going to be Luca's team. Okay. Also, in terms of taking a back seat, look, we could sit up here and say that Luca's willing to take a back seat. We could sit up here and say that LeBron is willing to take a back seat. That we know that neither one of these guys are going to take a back seat to to each other. They're just not going to being supportive on the surface and trying to be professional and all that other stuff. But we all know that LeBron's ego is through the roof. Now, on the flip side, Luca has an ego too. Uh, Now, I would say that Luca actually has a ego for good reasons. Sometimes it could get the best of him, but for the most part, Luca has been successful in his short NBA career. Okay, so we know that Luca is not going to back down either. And if I am Luca, I'm not backing down from anything because you know why? You have LeBron has had the keys to this organization for X amount of years. Okay, yeah, you got a championship out of the deal, but a lot of people don't count that championship. A lot of people see it as a bubble ring or whatever the case may be. Luka's not going to take no back seat for anybody because what he's saying is, look, I have credentials too. I have made it to the Western Conference Finals. I have made it to the finals. We have been successful. I am a five-time All NBA. I am a perennial All Star. You know what I'm saying? I am a franchise player. So why should I play second fiddle to anybody? Now look, of course, man, they did play the Jazz. Okay, they got beat. You know, and are we going to take this so serious and everything like it's a big deal and all this other stuff? In a lot of ways, yes, but in a lot of ways, no. I think because a lot of people were expecting to mesh right away, this microwave society that we live in. People are disappointed because of what they're seeing. Luca is the type of player, man, and I know this is gonna hurt some people's feelings, but it has to be said. In a lot of ways, he is like LeBron in the sense that that one word, it's control. You got to think about it, man. Luca was coming from a culture, okay, unlike LA, in which he pretty much was the dominant force of the basketball. I mean, the guy has led the league in usage rate. He's been up there along with LeBron in terms of usage rate over the past couple of seasons. The top, he's been at the top. I would say within the top 1 to 3, at least 1 to 5 players. He's always been in usage rate. And then when we talk about LeBron, his usage rate is sky high too, along with some of the others like SGA, Giannis, even Jokic. Now I don't know who's leading right now. I want to say it's Giannis right now, if I'm not mistaken, leading in usage rate. But nevertheless, both of these guys, you said done with Rogers. Yeah, what's up with it, Nikki Steves, man? I see you in here. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Nikki Steves, man. Very good podcast. Um, Talks about a number of different sports, basketball as well as football, and is a Philadelphia Sixers as well as Eagles fan too as well. So salute to Nikki Steves, man. But to get back to what I was saying, a lot of these talking pundits and a lot of these talking heads are going to try to do everything that they can to try to dummy down the situation. They're going to try to make it sound real smooth and everything. Well, we're not going to do that here in the LDBC. That's not what we come here to do. We got to give you the raw, uh, unadulterated truth. And the truth of the matter is, that in order for this experiment to work, okay, it's one of these guys are going to have to take a back seat. And I'm not just talking about, um, changing your game completely. I'm literally talking about you not being on the floor. Yes, I know. I know it sounds crazy because you got to think about it. I don't think that LeBron is willing to come off the ball, to move without the ball. If LeBron was able to do something like that, man, and he was able to do that like early in his career, be able to come off the ball, sort of like what Michael Jordan would do at times. Kobe has been able to come off the ball. A lot of people don't realize, man, I'll stay with Kobe for a minute. Go back and you go look at Kobe, especially as he got adapted to the triangle and stuff. If a lot of people don't know, when a guy like Derek Fisher or Lamar Odom, when they carried up the ball, Kobe would come down and flash up. Uh, Usually, sometimes I would say more so on the weak side. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, where he could operate, and a lot of times on the strong side, and he would flash up. He would come around there, set that screen, and he was able to get the ball. Now, of course, he would he'll do his ISO thing, but there have been times when Kobe has been able to come off the screen and hit that jump shot and stuff, like moving without the ball and stuff. It wasn't all the time Kobe carrying up the having the ball and everything like that, because guys like Kobe and Jordan, man, they understood it, especially, but I say Kobe the most. He understands that he's going to need to save that energy towards the end of the game. And then you got to understand, he was playing both ends of the floor. Okay, neither one of these guys, when we talk about Luka and when we talk about LeBron, they're not going to play both ends of the floor. They're just not. Especially LeBron at this stage of his career. A little bit of credit can be given to Luka for him trying his best to be somewhat of a good help defender by Jason Kidd try bringing his philosophy in and everything. But he'll never be a lockdown defender, not like what Jordan was or Kobe was, or some of the great defenders as well as offensive players over time. But this isn't going to work, man. We have to come to the realization that this is going to work. Um, Also, we have to look at it like this. Listen, AD was a different type of player that was, he was a defensive minded guy. He was into rebounding, but could also score at the same time. Okay. And also, AD was willing to be that Robin, so to speak, or whatever. Eventually, AD took over as the Batman. He was the Batman. AD led in every statistical category with the exception of assists when he was there. He led in scoring. Okay, I'm talking about before he left. Okay, he led in scoring yet. I think at 25.7. Okay, he led in rebounds. I think he was averaging like 12 rebounds or something like that. And he led in steals and he led in blocks. The only thing, and I want to say he was leading in field goal percentage too as well. But the only stat where he wasn't leading in was assists, and LeBron was averaging I think like 9 assists or something like that. Other than that, AD led in every statistical category on the Lakers. So he eventually was not looked at as a Robin. He was looked at as the Batman. My point to all of this is that Luca, he has to do that, and it's gonna have to be where LeBron is gonna have to fade back. This man is 25 years old and has already he's played in big games and championship level games and stuff. There's gonna have to be a in order for this to work, man. Besides the big man, they're gonna have to butt heads. I'm sorry to say. Luka's got to stop looking at LeBron as his favorite player, coming up and stuff like that. See, it's a different situation when you get there, when you're right there, in person, from and also different when you have to go against him in a competitive game. Now you're playing alongside him, which is much different, because on the outside looking in, you're looking at him like, oh yeah, this was my favorite player. I admire him and all that other stuff. But once you start playing with him, once you start seeing his habits, once you start seeing the tendencies, once you start seeing all of that stuff, it's not it's not going to work. And then you got to adapt to this guy's personality. Cypress TV, what's up with it, man? Make sure y'all go sub to Cypress TV, the homie. It's just not going to work. And we knew this early. The NBA knew this. A lot of fans, they knew this. They knew that this game, this type of this type of trade that they made, they knew that it wasn't going to work. So I don't understand why the media is trying to be soft, and it's because what they want the whole fiasco and spectacle to work. They want they want to see a dream season, so to speak, where they see a guy in Luca, who is a megastar in Dallas, come over there to the Lakers, and automatically they go to the promised land. Let's stop. You see with Kyrie, man, last night he put up 42. Okay, Kyrie put up 42 points. Okay, and that was without a front line, and was holding it down. And on top of that, Kyrie's not making any excuses, because a lot of people don't know he has a bulging disc in his back. That's what a lot of people don't understand. He's playing through injuries. Some guys wouldn't be able to play through that, and Joel Embiid, you know, some guys wouldn't be able to play through that. So this experiment is not going to work. I wish that the media would stop trying to be so empathetic and everything. Now, do I believe? Let me say this too. Do I believe that the Lakers eventually um, will get back to where they were? Yes, they will, without the services of LeBron. Yes, they will. Without the services of LeBron, they will get back there. Now they're not going to be able to do it playing small ball, because what people don't understand, Luca was equipped with mobile bigs that could defend, that could play the perimeter, that could score, that could pick and roll. Um, rim protect, of course. Great. Well, I would say somewhat great offensive rebounder. Now they weren't on no Moses Malone level, but when we talk about Lively, Lively could really could be a dominant force inside with his defense and with his offensive rebounding, and that's the same thing um, with with Gafford and PJ Washington to a certain extent. And now you got AD over there now. But I'm talking about the guys that Luca played with. He's always had to have those guys that he could lob it up to. Like, one thing that I did notice that first game, it looked on the surface, it looked really good in the beginning, because he was able to get the ball to a guy like Jackson Hayes. You would have thought Jackson Hayes was an all-star, the way he was being able to catch lobs and stuff like that, and passes and stuff like that. But the thing about it is he's going to do that every now and then. Jackson Hayes, and even though Jackson Hayes went down, I think Jackson Hayes only played like 7 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. But Jackson Hayes is not not a consistent guy. He's not a consistent threat. He's not gonna be what AD is. And LeBron is finding out now. AD is hard to replace, man. He's hard to replace, even though he had the injuries and stuff like that. Now he's seeing, he's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? And Luka looking at LeBron like, damn, I gotta play with you. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not even looking at the other side of things too, like the mental side of things. Having to hear him, the talking aspect, the communication aspect of everything. We're not looking at that either. So it's not going to work, man. You know, and like I said, it's going to have to be where LeBron flat out is just going to have to retire, come off the bench or something like that. And I don't even think that, and that's definitely not going to happen. But one of these guys, they can't be in the lineup. I'm at the point now where them being in the lineup together, it's gonna cause a little friction because we also got to look. This is another thing. Let's say the Lakers with the schedule that they have, because it's gonna get a little tight, especially a few games in after the All Star break. Once it starts getting tight down the stretch in terms of a game, then you got two guys, man, that are used to having the ball and having control and everything. Hold on one second, y'all. You have guys, you have guys there that are used to having control of everything. Now these guys got to figure out, okay, down the stretch, what are we gonna do? You have a guy that's used to playing hot potato with the ball, and LeBron that really can't, has shown the inability to capitalize in terms of shot making down the stretch. And then you also have Luka, who is a clutch shot maker, clutch shot taker. Will doesn't mind having that smoke, but at the same time, there have been times when Luka has shown the inability to capitalize too. He's made some turnovers and stuff like that. And both of these guys are turnover machines too. That's another thing too. We got to realize that Luka is a turnover machine too. You can't have two turnover machines on the same squad like this on the floor at the same time. Now, I did want to talk about this for a second. I want to talk about Aaron Rodgers for a second, man. Uh, as you know, like I reported early on, Aaron Rodgers and the Jets have parted ways. The Jets have officially released Aaron Rodgers or waived him, whatever, cut ties with him. Just pretty much told him, thank you for your services and all that stuff. But um, Aaron Rodgers, man, I know everybody's talking about, yeah, should Travis Kelsey retire and all this other stuff. It's time for Aaron Rodgers to retire, and I don't know why the media is so afraid to say that. You're not going to be in a good situation if you go to the Steelers. Okay? You're not going to be in a good situation if you go to the Browns or if you go to this team or if you go to that team. You're not a good fit anywhere anymore, man. And you're not going to be the driving force of what a team needs anymore. So, in my opinion, I feel like it's time for Aaron Rodgers to just go ahead and hang him up. Stephen A. Smith, he does not want to admit that because he used to sit up there and say all the time how great Aaron Rodgers was, how bad of a man he was, and all this other stuff. Them days are over with. Those days are over with. Aaron Rodgers' personality is not easy to deal with, and you're able to see it as he is transitioning to the last phase of his career. You're seeing it even more now. You know, how do you get a guy in Salah fired when it wasn't Salah's fault. And that's why I'm glad that he went back to the 49ers now, because at least he has a job. And like I said, you can't name a place where Aaron Rodgers would be a good fit. Hell, he's not going to be a good fit as a backup or as a starter. Neither one. It's time for him to just go ahead and hang him up. Everybody talked about Travis Kelce. Well, Travis Kelce was just in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce goes to straight AFC titles. And I know we talk about two different positions here, but what I am talking about are the phases of both of these guys' careers in terms of should they retire or not. And then on top of that, Travis Kelce is 35, man. In comparison to Rodgers in his 40s. You know, even though they both dealt with their injuries and everything like that, Travis Kelce might not be able to move no more. He, can't get the separation like he once did. Travis Kelce, uh, I would say at this stage of his career, would be more. He would be more beneficial to a team. Now that's not to say that Travis Kelce gonna be what he was when like in 2018 and all that other stuff. No, some years have went by. You know, but looking at everything and what Aaron Rodgers brings to the table, the only thing that he's bringing really is his name and bringing what he's accomplished. Other than that, you're getting the guy that stays hurt. You're getting the guy who a lot of people don't want to really put his feet to the fire and really be honest about this situation. You're getting a guy who is a cancer to the locker room, who is a cancer to the organization. And I know some people they get mad when you say that, but everybody gives the smoke to Peyton Manning when he doesn't play good in the Super Bowl. Everybody gives the smoke to. They used to get a smoke to Eli Manning, saying that he wasn't that great at times and all this other stuff. Even though I disagree with that, everybody gives the smoke to Lamar Jackson not being able to get over the hump and all this other stuff. They say the same thing about Josh Allen. No, we got to start looking at Aaron Rodgers, a guy that has not been who he was since those MVPs. He ain't won a title uh, in what 15 years. He hasn't won he hadn't won a title in 15 years, man. If I'm not mistaken, it's time to hang him up, man. It's time to go. What's up with it, Stephen Green? I see you in the building. How you feeling? We over here. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers right now. We were talking about Luka and we were talking about LeBron. You know, but like I said, man, it's time for Aaron Rodgers to go. This isn't a situation where you know you have a few more years, like with Dak Prescott. The only reason you said Rodgers, true, his time is up. Look, I've said it before. Look, do I think Aaron Rodgers is great? Yes, he's great. Okay, you're on lunch break. All right. Listen, do I think he's great? Yes, he's great. But he's in a different phase of his career. He's an older guy. He's set in his ways. Like, honestly, I didn't even really think that this move made sense when we talk about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. I don't know what they were thinking that Aaron Rodgers was going to be, that savior. He wasn't as successful as Chad Pennington. I've talked to you about that before, Stephen Green. He wasn't as successful as what you call as Mr. Butt Fumble. You said maybe he goes to another team and help them out like the Cleveland Browns. It's not going to work. First off, you're going to another losing organization. Okay, yeah. Aaron Rodgers is trying to compete to possibly getting another championship. Aaron Rodgers is not going to play until no 45, 46, or nothing like that, man. He's not Brady, man. Okay, he's not Brady. His body doesn't hold up like that. His body doesn't hold up like that. I mean, if you're talking about can he help them like maybe giving whatever advice that he knows or something like that, maybe so. But even with that, he can't really give anybody no good advice because Aaron Rodgers, to me, he wasn't that great of a leader. He wasn't that great of a locker room guy. He was a coach killer. The only thing that you could ask him about is his talent. Now, as far as the thrower of the football and being clutch at times and being able to be that 4-time MVP or whatnot, you could give advice in that. But other than that, that was back in the days, and very few people are going to be able to possess the type of talent that Aaron Rodgers had. I'm not going to cap and act like Aaron Rodgers wasn't that guy, but he could never get it. He could never get it done quite like Brady could, or Montana could, or any of the other all-time greats could. But nah, I don't think that the Cleveland Browns is a good fit for Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna go to the Cleveland Browns, I mean, you better off going to like the Miami Dolphins or somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like the Jacksonville Jaguar. I say that even though that those are two different types of places or whatnot. I think, well, it's still in Florida, but I think if he went to Miami or somewhere like that, okay, they're coming off of a losing season. You have a Tyreek Hill that knows championship football. He's got a ring. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, he has a ring. You understand what I mean? They both trying to get there again. Tyreek Hill, I'm pretty sure he wants a ring again. He wants the feeling of winning the Super Bowl. Tyreek Hill is adapting to not even being in the Pro Bowl. He's trying to adapt to. He had to adapt to not winning the championship again. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with Aaron Rodgers. He knows what the feeling is like, and they're trying to fill that void again of having that championship feel again. So maybe it could work in a place like Miami, but you got Tua there. So you said how about the Eagles game? Who was it? Auntie Fury. What's up, Auntie Fury? What about it? Because I'm gonna talk about the Eagles now. I feel like the media is really doing the Eagles a disservice right now. Do you see how they're talking about the Cowboys? Like they should be talking about the Eagles. They are the ones that won the championship. Like they talked about it here and there, but now it's back on Michael Parsons. Now it's back on Dak Prescott. Now it's back on Jerry Jones. It's like Cowboy, Cowboy, Cowboys. Why are you going back to the Cowboys? The Eagles are the ones that won the championship. So the mainstream media is doing the Philadelphia Eagles a disservice as a slap in the face by talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and they didn't even make the playoffs. So that's why we can understand the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying, to a certain degree. Like, what is Travis Kelsey gonna do? Is Mahomes gonna is Mahomes going to bounce back. I can understand that to a certain degree. Even them putting out that the Kansas City Chiefs cut like 7 players immediately after the aftermath of the Super Bowl. They've cut like 7 players, so I can understand that. But why aren't they talking about the Eagles? You should be talking about the Eagles. You should be talking about, okay, this style of football that's being played. Compare them to the Legion of Boom. You compare them to a certain degree. You could compare them to the Ravens or what they were. You said the media talking about the Chiefs because they want KC to win. Dallas is an American team, of course. We're going to get media hype. Listen, Steven. Listen. That's the problem, man. We're stuck on this America's team, America's team. If we're going to be honest, man, over the course of the last couple of seasons, it seems like the Chiefs have been more of America's team more than anything. You know what I'm saying? That's just the name that has been given to them, but they haven't played like America's teams since the '90s. Okay, this isn't Tom Landry. This isn't Jimmy Johnson. This is not that era. This is this is well, they went through Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, Bill Parcells, Wade Phillips. You know what I'm saying? This that era. You know what I'm saying? Now they got Schottenheimer, and I don't see them going anywhere with Schottenheimer neither. And we talked about this yesterday, Lou. We got to understand, man, that the media does a disservice like that to other teams. I know that a lot of you Cowboys fans, y'all don't like the Eagles, y'all don't like the Commanders, but you got to give them respect, man. You have to show respect. You really should be talking about like the Commanders. That's a team that you really need to be talking about because now you have a guy that you can actually market around. The league could actually market around Jaden Daniels. Like I was saying, I was telling everybody like his market. You say give Ben a chance. Ben, who you talking about? Ben who? Steven? Ben who? I hope you're not talking about Ben Roethlisberger. Oh, you talking about Schottenheimer? Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Schottenheimer. Um, Listen. The only thing that I could say with that man is that, and this is my last point because I got to roll out. He still got to have some sort of control, and that's not going to happen. You could bring anybody you want to in there, like you tried to get Dion, like you tried to get Kellen Moore, probably tried to go ahead and get what's his name back, Dan Quinn. But until Jerry Jones gives up that control, the Cowboys are never going to be successful. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to be successful. You know, we laugh and we joke about it, about what's it called? Jerry Jones wanting to be all in the videos, singing, dancing, all that other stuff. But it's the truth, man. If you go look at some of these other owners, you don't see them all in the videos and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? As much as some people might not like Robert Kraft, he's not always in the video and all that other stuff, trying to be seen and all this other stuff. Nah, he fades back. You'll see him every now and again. Jerry Jones, hell, uh, everybody talked about how like LeBron should be the coach of the Lakers and all this other stuff and the GM and stuff like that. Well, hell, let Jerry Jones do it. Jerry Jones want to be the coach. Jerry Jones want to be the janitor. Jerry Jones want to be the wide receiver. Jerry Jones want to be the running back. Jerry Jones want to be in the skybox. Jerry Jones want to be in the concession stand. He want to be the, you know what I'm saying? He want to do everything around there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants control of everything. He want to be the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? He want work. He want to be special teams. You know what I'm saying? Jerry Jones want to be the quarterback. Jerry Jones want to be the kicker. Yeah. I mean, you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Hell, he want to be the announcer. He want to be on the radio. Like, but I'm like when I say this, I'm being serious. In order for that franchise to move forward, you cannot have a control freak like that around, and that's what the issue is. So, uh, anyway, man, let me go ahead and roll out. Shout out to the whole entire LDBC basketball boxing community. Straight to the point. I'm gonna get at y'all later.